Hare Krishna. Today I have the privilege to talk with His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj, and thank you so much for giving some time today to talk. So, how did you came to Krishna consciousness?
In 1972, I was traveling around the United States trying to find some connection with spirituality. Before then, I was involved with a lot of other things, and then somehow or other, I got some indication that spirituality or spiritual life was actually interesting and something that could give me satisfaction, happiness. So I had heard that there was one area of the United States where there was a lot of Eastern yogis, people who came from India, who set up their ashrams in one place called Boulder, Colorado. So I headed out in that area. And while I was there, I met some devotees, and they invited me into the temple in Denver, Colorado, which was about an hour away. And that was my first experience there. I knew nothing about Krishna consciousness, but I had some strong interest to connect with the spiritual energy, to uplift my consciousness, to get away from the mundane world. And so, after meeting the devotees and asking some questions and experiencing the different ceremonies, I started reading the books, and then one thing led to another. But I didn't actually join in that area. I joined in New York later on in 1973 in March.
When did you met Srila Prabhupada for the first time?
First time, I officially haven't ever met Prabhupada in person, but it was a few times when he came to different temples that I happened to be there. And that was in New Vrindavan in 1974, again in 1976, and I saw Srila Prabhupada in 1975 in New York. My first experience was in 1974 when Prabhupada came to meet with all the leaders all over the United States and discuss, or how to continue on with our preaching. It was more of a managerial meeting, and Prabhupada had invited the leaders to come and be with him, and Prabhupada gave many classes during that time. That was in April 1974. And then again, 1976, when Srila Prabhupada came, I was a cook here in New Vrindavan. I got the opportunity to cook for Srila Prabhupada some sweets, and it was offered to him. And from what I heard, the devotees came back and gave me the message. I didn't see it directly, but they said that he was pleased with the cooking.
Very nice, Maharaj. And what do you think ISKCON can contribute to future generations and to the people in the world?
ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is an extension of Lord Chaitanya's movement to bring about a world revolution in spirituality into the hearts and minds of the people. Today's world is so, full of so many problems, and it's not getting any better. More and more problems, more and more turmoil, more and more conflicts on different levels, and nations, communities. It's increasing more and more. Krishna consciousness teaches us that we have a connection with each other on the spiritual level. On the material level, we're different, but if we try to make peace and happiness on the material level, we will always find dichotomy, differences, higher and lower. On the spiritual level, we are all connected to the one source of existence, Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Lord Shri Krishna. So the International Society of Krishna Consciousness is not only a spiritual movement, but it has the ability and the teachings in our Shastras and from our spiritual teachers to bring about peace and happiness in the world based on keeping the Lord in the center of our life and working together to serve the Lord and to serve each other. And that's a very extensive subject, and it's very much nicely covered in our books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita. So ISKCON is not just another spiritual movement, it's about making a revolution in the hearts and minds of people to bring them to the awareness of their relationship with the Supreme Lord and with each other.
So, spirituality is a very difficult topic, and you have been in this for many decades. So, what is your suggestion? Top 3 or 4 things for new people who are watching this?
How can new people enter in?
Yes.
Well, one of the most simplest things you can do is to read the books produced by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder of the Hare Krishna movement back in 1965 in New York City. And His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada we call him, he has translated the ancient Vedic scriptures into English translations and giving his explanations on the translations. His books have been accepted and honored by many great scholars around the world in universities and in different areas of academia. They're nicely presented in a scholarly way with deep spiritual understanding, as Srila Prabhupada is known as a great devotee of the Lord. So by reading his books, you get an understanding of this movement. And of course, in our day-to-day practice, we practice glorifying the Lord by chanting the Lord's holy name. We glorify the Lord. It's called Kirtan. Kirtan means to spread the glories of the Lord by chanting His name. And so there's one mantra. Mantra means to deliver the mind from the material to the spiritual. That mantra is called the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So devotees every day practice that for at least 2 hours a day, and then they'll also come together in the temples and in other venues to also sing and dance and glorify the Lord. It's a very joyful process. We invite everyone to come. It's not restricted to those who practice. We're welcoming each and every one to come and join us in our glorification of the Lord by chanting the Lord's holy name. And over the years, we've been doing this all around the world, and more people have understood the happiness that they're looking for they can find in chanting the holy names of the Lord. So these 2 things, read our books and also chant the Lord's holy name.
Thank you so much for your time today, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.